Hello, hello, everybody. I hope that everybody is ready for some wonderful Zelda gameplay, and by that I mean wonderful Lucario gameplay. Yeah, so thank you all for your generous donations. Like how we're picking ADEF's main, you guys apparently picked my main out of Gen 1 through 3, and we're going with Lucario to go through The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, any percent. I am Glubbers, and here I'm joined with my two commentators. One you may recognize.
Yeah, I've been here the whole day so far. I hope you're not tired of me, like I said. I'm DawnSR. I just ran Sonic Adventure 2, and this is actually the only Zelda game I've ever ran. So unlike the Astrobot run, I kind of know this one a little bit.
And I'm SrTapir. I run Breath of the Wild a lot. And yeah, I'm here to help if he needs help at all.
Yeah, Tapir is a wonderful friend and has been running this game for a very, very long time. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. Timing doesn't start until control. I'll count it down when we get there, but it'll be in about a minute. So what exactly are we doing? Nintendo presents The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, any percent, which is just going to be the fastest way to beat the game. We're going to be playing on the 1.6 version, which if you know what that means, you know what that means. If you don't, wait the next 5 minutes and you'll know what that means. And we are going to be running with our fun little amiibo, so here's everybody's second favorite fish friend. Unfortunately, the side-on amiibo either doesn't exist or doesn't work for this game. Sorry.
That sucks.
But yeah, so we're getting into it here. We'll have a quick explanation of everything that's going on. Again, I'm Glubbers. I run a ton of Zelda games. If you recognize me at all, you've seen me run a different Zelda game every time I've been on stage. Here's yet another one. We'll be going here in time, and we'll be going on. I'm going to do a very awkward countdown. It'll be 3, 2, 1, go. Also, here's Lucario.
All right. So first things first, we're going to be grabbing the Sheikah Slate. This is very important in order to activate all the shrines, get all the runes that we need. And we'll also be using a glitch at the very start of the run in order to do a sequence break to get out of the room. So as soon as you see him grab the Sheikah Slate, he's going to scope in, and that'll activate a trigger. And then we're going to be using that scope in order to clip Link out of bounds in just about 10 seconds or so. I'm sorry, Lucario. Yeah, he's going to be running into a wall, spamming the scope button, and then that'll flip Lucario around 180 degrees and then hopefully push him out. And then we'll be outside of the SOR room.
The little pause.
Close.
Not quite.
Yeah, we'll just be doing this, spamming it as hard as we can.
Yeah, so we align the camera angle, and then we want Lucario exactly opposite.
Let's go.
And then now we're going to run up this wall, try to get back inbounds by crouching and then uncrouching. Thankfully, this game only has a barrier on one side of the wall, not two sides, so it's a lot easier to clip inbounds than it is to clip out of bounds. So there we are, now we're back out, and then we're gonna run through the snow area, grab a couple of quick items in order to get us through the very beginning part of the game before we get a little bit more geared, and then we'll be running into a cutscene.
Yeah, so we have a couple of cutscenes coming up here, so I'll pass it off to Oscar if we have any early donations here.
Oh, we've truly got a bid war going on for this Pick My Main. We have $200 from Kenners, who says, donating because I love food.
I also love food. You're going to see that here in a little bit. I've already grabbed some peppers. We're going to get some fish going. We got a whole meal going. We have time for at least one or two more.
Perfect. Not to be outdone, $201 from Sadwin, who says, I've been donating $201 for Unknown for GDQ Pokedex donos for at least 5 years. This is going to be the most impactful Unknown donation I've made yet. Hidden Power hype.
Hype.
But right now, Togepi is in the lead at 225 with Unknown in second with 201.
All right, so getting quick into a lot of stuff that's happening here. So I'm going to do a thing called a skew clip. So I'm going to get skew, which basically I'm dropping on a shield drop on an angled surface. We then retain a little bit of that diagonalness when we do a shield flip, and we can clip through a bunch of collision with that. And that's a very bleh explanation because we're getting into this next thing here, which this is called a BLSS, and basically I'm going to do one glitch. This is called smuggling. I'm going to get this pot stuck on my arm. You can see that it's stuck right there. And then now I'm flying. So this is called a bow lift smuggle slide. You saw me do a trick called smuggling. And then by pulling out the bow and going into the running animation while I'm smuggling that pot, or you'll see it a lot more, we're going to do it quite a bit, mostly
Nice.
using the bombs, more skew clipping. That's going to let us fly all around Hyrule, and it's fantastic and goofy, and everyone loves it. And now into yet another thing. I want to kill skew here, so I'm doing a shield flip over, and basically if after, you'll see like little frames where he'll like tap down a little bit whenever I have skew. If I buffer and unequip the shield after that point, that's what I'm calling killing skew. It means that I don't have it anymore because I want to get it again somewhere else, basically. So that's going to be after I'm done with this shrine, but it also gets rid of ragdoll and things that can cause me a lot of annoyance. That's why I do it as early as I do, because we're going to do actually everybody's favorite trick in Breath of the Wild, the wind bomb. Does everybody know what a wind bomb is? We got a few yeahs. Okay, we'll just watch.
Let's go.
And well, that for verticality plus BLSS for horizontal movement is basically what we'll be doing this whole time. Are you guys ready to fly around just Hyrule in a million ways?
Who needs a horse?
Yeah, who needs a horse? Shoutouts to the 2017 routes that used a horse.
Yeah, we have technology now.
Yeah.
We have technology, Sheikah slate technology, and this is not what they wanted me to use it for at all.
Not at all.
All right, so here's going to be the next part. Who out here is a fan of gambling? All right, that was a little, I was kind of iffy on asking that question. I'm glad we have some real fans of gambling. We're gonna go gambling here in a second. We're actually going to be gambling for some fish. So I'm going to be scanning Amiibo and getting the fish that I need for this run. What that encompasses is basically I want an attack up level 3 meal to eat so that I can have higher damage for the end of the game where I have to do a million fights and it's wonderful. That said, because I'm literally scanning Amiibo and fish are gonna fall from the sky, Asuka, you have any fish-related donations?
Ironically, not quite a fish, but they'll be happy to hear fish falling from the sky. $5 from JR is Junior, who just says, seal.
Did that get disabled?
That usually doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't think it'll allow you to do it if it's disabled, so.
What is happening here? Does anybody speak French?
Unfortunate part of changing the language for speed.
It's an airplane.
Oh my goodness, it is an airplane mode.
Good
Thank
shout.
you.
Good shout.
Thank you, person that reads.
Saved.
That is on me. I was on an airplane to get here.
That is part of traveling for events. There you go.
It wasn't a horse, though, so it's okay.
There we go.
Why didn't you just BLSS here?
We got one fish.
Do we have any airplane-related
Oh.
donations?
No, but we have
Okay.
$200 to World Central Kitchen from K Alamode with, what the glub? This isn't Twilight Princess?
This isn't yet another game that I play.
And I think that
starts
went
with
towards
Zelda.
Unknown being the top Pokemon right now for the Pick My Main. Keep that coming!
Ooh.
Exclamation point Emerald in chat to get those instructions on how to choose an 8F's main.
Really? You guys like Unknown? Okay, so hear me out. I haven't seen any love for this yet, but the one that I actually would love to see is some Cubone support. Cubone is my favorite Pokemon and the world's most adorable little skull wearer. So, you know, let's get some Cubone support going. All right, we're gonna grab more skew here. Sorry for that little hiccup of I took an airplane to get here.
Ooh, making this look easy. Oh?
This is the part that's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
You have to line up exactly perpendicular, which... There we go.
Nice. Yeah, that skew's particularly hard. There's quite a few ways to do it, but it's pretty annoying any way that you're going to.
Yeah, that is, knock on wood, that is the hardest skew clip in the game. Actually, the next one is, okay, it's the hardest skew clip, it's not the hardest clip.
Yeah.
The next one's gonna be pretty easy, but we're also going into what is the hardest trick that I'll be doing here. Tapir, how does canal work? I know how to do it, I just press buttons.
You kind of just press buttons, but very quickly.
Yes.
There's a layer of water that we're going to be using to get a bit of bullet time off of. And then that allows us to hopefully skip the entirety of mag after we go under a bridge. So
I'm gonna throw that out of the way because I don't care about it. And then I want to retain skew, but I do also want to do a ragdoll cancel here. Line up a very specific angle. So this is going to take a second here. This is only really fast if you do it quickly, but it also looks cool. Whee!
Nice.
yeah, that one's particularly hard because you want to get above the wall that is like right in front of you, but you don't want to go too high to hit your head and then just go crashing down. So there's a very, very minor window in which you can get through, and he did it very perfectly.
Yeah, except for the part where I just didn't get a front hop, which is the most baby mistake you can possibly make.
I feel like I've seen so many resets to that trick. I personally don't go for that, but I know that one's incredibly hard. So good job getting that first try.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
is a very fun one. Now, the one that I see a lot of other people reset to is the next wind bomb. This is my personal favorite part of the run, and that might make me sound like I'm, a little bit. I don't remember if it's masochism or sadism, but. So we're gonna do a BLSS here, and we're actually going through a little tunnel that you can't even see right now, so I'm being very specific on the angling that it gives me. And we're going to go up this little incline here.
Nice.
Dodge trees and rocks the whole way, be a little bit slow, to be a little bit safe. Blow that up because I don't need it anymore. And then I'm gonna climb this tree here. Shout outs to trees.
We love trees.
We all love trees. And I'm going to line a specific angle here, and because I need to wait on my stamina. This wind bomb is really hard because we launch up a cliff. And then that's why I kept my skew from mag is, the reason we do mag and then stasis, magnesis and then stasis, is the same skew works for both. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Glubbers made that section look easy. That part is ridiculously hard when you're learning the game. I hate that part.
Yeah. I don't think we explained BLSS too precisely there, but in order to get Link to propel, we physically have to move the left Joy-Con stick diagonally across, back and forth, left and right, as fast as you can. And also, you don't want to stop it, otherwise Link will just stop in the middle of the air.
Yeah, so the way that I like to explain it, we're gonna do another wind bomb, by the way. This wind bomb sucks. I'll see if I can do it while I explain BLSS. That's gonna be interesting. The way that I like to explain it, which isn't the technical definition, but it makes a lot of intuitive physical sense, is imagine that you have the bomb or whatever is stuck in Link, or Lucario in this case, is effectively pushing into him at any given time. If he's getting pushed into at any given time by that bomb, you're pushing one, you hold to the right, thank you. If you hold to the right, you'll be moved forward and to the left. If you push to the left, you'll be moved forward and to the right. So if you alternate them, you're canceling out the left and right movement, but maintaining the forward motion. If you're not doing anything on the control stick, it comes out of Link and you fall. So it makes a lot of sense if you just assume for a second that a human can have this giant sphere stuck in their body, pushing out all the time.
Makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys took Physics 1, right? It is kind of mechanics. Oop.
Okay.
It's a rock.
Stasis launch.
It's called boulder launch, but I've heard plenty of people tell me it's not a boulder, it's a rock, so.
It's a boulder in my heart.
Yeah, that's the one example of a stasis launch, which used to be a lot more prominent in Breath of the Wild speedrunning. We're not really going to see another one.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably like one of the oldest pieces of tech. Like I remember seeing that like the day the game came out, people were doing those. Another pretty tricky BLSS here, having to navigate around the mountains. You don't want to run into those or you'll kill all your speed or maybe even fall.
Yep.
And you're also losing health every 10 seconds because of the cold damage. So you want to get there pretty speedily.
Yeah, so we are going to get skew here. This is going to be the hardest clip in the game. This is called an ESC. Tapir, what's an ESC?
It's called an extended shield clip. If you equip your shield on there's only one frame that you can equip your shield on, is when Link's skewing back over. And if you equip it through then you can get through a double-sided wall. It's like doors and stuff. But we can only buffer 2 frames with the D-pad.
Let's go.
So trying to get 1 frame is really difficult. It's like a 50-50.
So while I was setting up, I had someone come over and ask me, is there any point in the run that you pay attention to Link's model? And I was like, no, it'll be fine. The only thing that I really look at is his feet. I was not thinking about ESC, where your Q is his entire body. So I was kind of guessing. I'm glad that when I thought I got it, I actually got it.
Nice.
I'll just say, I did it on purpose. We're just going to do a front hop wind bomb here and then have some cutscenes. So, Asuka, you have time for a few donations.
Perfect. Talking about some outdated tech. $10 from Scenaris, who says, it's me. I need the horse. Let's go, Glubbers. And also $15 from a fish with sick chuck, who says, I heard fish. Do the fish have some sick chucks on? That's a good question.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either, but it sounded funny, and you know what? Here we are.
Shoot.
We can name we'll name one of the fish Chuck. I will specifically not eat Chuck. And we won't eat Chuck.
There we
he's
go. That is perfect. Thank you for those donations. And as an update again, Unknown is currently in the lead for the Pick My Main, with Togepi in second and Magikarp on third. So donate, put your donations towards one of those mains and either give ADF a really fun run or a very questionable run.
I'm ready for Magikarp.
I'm all for the Metapod chaos if possible.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, you guys can't pick Lucario. That's why we get him here.
Yeah. Even more Pokemon representation. Let's go.
Who doesn't love Pokemon? And the answer is, based on the ZA reviews, apparently a lot of people.
All right, this is our final BLSS for Plateau. Once we do this, we'll be talking to the old man and getting our paraglider.
Oh, no.
And we're going to do it again just so that he said it's our final one, and it's not.
Yeah, that's what can happen if your stick goes neutral, or if it detects that your stick is in the neutral position, Link will just fall down.
So something that can happen is just while you're wiggling, if you're not wiggling especially fast, your controller's in the neutral zone for a little bit longer, and if it recognizes like a single frame, it can mess you up.
Yeah, Plateau is a really cool run. This is the end of the Plateau, basically like the first half-ish of the run, I would say. People run specifically this part because it's really cool.
It is. It done really fast and not as safe as something for like a marathon is a sight to behold. We're also getting done with that stick. Goodbye, stick. That stick's name, we chucked that stick.
But was it sick, though?
It was pretty sick.
That was
Nice.
a pretty sick move.
All right, so here's a guy that we'll never talk to again, but he gives us a glider, which is wonderful. We'll see that glider at some point. But first I'm gonna fly across Hyrule.
And we don't need a horse.
And we don't need the horse that Scenaris wants us to have. I'm sorry.
And we don't need to do any of the Divine Beasts. We can just go straight to Calamity. Main quests? Nah.
Nah, we don't want to do an all main quests run. I was given like 30 minutes to do this run. All main quests is like 2.5 hours. Although it is fun. And we're going to do that one again.
Yeah, as you can see, BLSS totally changed the run. It's so broken. Before they had the BTBs, if you've seen an old school Breath of the Wild run, bullet time bounce, where you essentially bounce off of a Boko head, it sends you so fast to the point where literally some parts of the map weren't loaded in. You could just walk right into the shrine. Yep. But it was way less beginner friendly. BLSS, you could pick up in like 20 minutes probably and get the basics down. BTB was like a very precise setup. It's a godsend for beginner runners.
Oh, and there's Billy the Boko over there. Goodbye, Billy. Gonna be very careful with my wiggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also another thing in this game called speed cap. I think it's like 360 meters per second or something. There's like a hard limit, and then Link he won't fall down, but he'll physically just stop in the midair and just lose all of his momentum. So then you'll have to wiggle again and build up your speed. That's just one thing that we have to look out for the longer BLSSs.
Yeah, so something you would have seen me doing on the shorter ones was I was like hammering back and forth on my control stick, and this time I'm being very controlled about it. Just kind of wiggling a little bit so that the loss of speed is minimized, but then just kind of holding as we coast along. It's a very relaxed section as we get into a very not relaxed section.
Calm before the storm. And nice, there's supposed to be a gate there, but we went so fast that it's not even loaded in yet.
Yeah, it's still not there. All right, and here is... This moblin doesn't have a name, so I don't know why this one doesn't have a name, but we'll see another one whose name's Craig, so I think that this is Craig 2. Which is even funnier if Craig 2 comes before Craig 1.
That's the speedrunning, Craig.
Craig %.
So yeah, you might be like wondering why we're going into these sections instead of just going straight to the boss, and that's because we need stuff to be able to damage the boss. And there's some of the best resources in the game here, so we're gonna make a quick blitz through the castle to pick up all the stuff we need to beat Calamity Ganon. Bye, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah, in each of these sections, Glubbers is gonna be very particular about the way that we're going about it. Like there, you don't wanna aggro the Boko that's up the stairs yet.
I gotta wait for that guy so he doesn't see me if I try to leave. Otherwise, I would have to reload. Boop. And then this Lizalfo's here. Hi. I want your stuff. Grab a shield for safety. The boomerang is actually one of our bigger friends during the fights. And so here's our food from this run. This is Chuck. And I don't know why I picked that as Chuck, because that's the one that I'm like very used to eating. So I really hope I don't accidentally eat Chuck.
I really hope you don't either. I'm gonna genuinely be sad.
Yeah, this is now Breath of the Wild Chuck %. Beat the
Lucario
game with Chuck.
Lucario and Chuck at it again.
Yeah. The famed duo.
Yeah, everyone knows them as that.
Leaderboard requirement, Lucario must be used.
We're just finishing up the castle section here. We're going to have something in about a minute or so, but Oscar, if you have any donations, go right ahead as I go smacking really fast into a wall.
I don't even know what
Look,
happened
Chuck
there.
% is hard.
Chuck % is very hard.
Continuing with that Pick My Main bid war, we have a wonderful $25 donation to WCK from Discount Austin Powers, who simply says, unknown. And unknown is still what ADF is going to be starting off with, unless you get that change. Exclamation point donate and choose that Pokemon of your choice. The big thing as a reminder, make absolutely sure that you spell the Pokemon name correctly. Again, right now, Unknown is in the lead. Togepi and Magikarp are in second and third, but you have any Pokemon from Gen 1 through 3 to choose from. That is Bulbasaur through Deoxys. So let's see which Pokemon we will have ADF run with.
Here's Craig.
Yeah, definitely Craig.
Craig won.
That would be Magikarp probably in that case.
I am fine with a Magikarp being named Craig, but we just killed this Craig.
Rip Craig.
Yeah, Rip Craig.
We might have Craig 3 in that Pokemon run.
True. Oh, are we getting to name this Pokemon? All right, so we're gonna do our final wind bomb of the run here, and by final wind bomb of the run here, I mean final wind bomb unless I die during it, because I will fly next to things that just kill me. Hey, look, the thing that just kills me. I just went right next to it. And then, Tapir, what is this trick?
This is a Wind Blight's gift. He's going to be looking at a few different pixels to try to align himself perfectly and then shoot the arrow into the cutscene. And as soon as that happens, the arrow will be frozen in time right at the perfect spot.
Lucario's ear.
Oh.
Oh. Who needs a visual cue?
It'll be frozen in time right where Windblight is hopefully spawning. Well, you might be seeing him spasm. If he does spasm, then we got the trick correct, which he is, so.
Cool.
We'll hope.
Hopefully that's enough to one-shot it.
Yes, yeah, there we go.
Yes, you can't, if you haven't played this game before, no, that is not normal.
No, that is not. Yeah, so it kind of shows that in my practice, I have a lot of things set up. The one thing that I don't do is that trick in practice. So when I tested all of the models out, I didn't know about Lucario's ear being in the way. But I'm glad we got it first try. That's really not an easy skip. People lose runs all the time to that.
Oh, yeah.
It takes, you need to be very quick about it, and it takes so long to set up sometimes.
I'm really impressed that you got it with the Lucario's here in the way. I wouldn't have gotten it.
All right, so we gotta take down each of the blights because we didn't go do all the main quests. We have to fight them all here. They still make you fight them anyway, even if you totally skip it.
But this is probably one of the hardest things for people learning the run to do, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
This is a gauntlet that you have to go through every single person until you get to Calamity.
Yeah, shout out to my buddy Emerald. He got here and he's like, no, this is too much for me. I'm tired of this, because if you lose any part of these bosses, you're taken all the way back to the beginning. You gotta skip the first one again and you gotta go through all the way through, even if you're at Calamity. You lose a ridiculous amount of time. It's basically just a reset if you die almost at all.
Shoutouts to the strat that Tapir taught me 10 minutes before this run started that I just did.
Let's go.
It's a lot more lenient, right?
It's way more lenient than what I was doing. I was actively hurting myself. We want you. And then we're going to set a bomb down in the middle of the Triforce, because what's going to happen here is that kind of normalizes the position so that the bomb's going to be behind Fireblight so that I can start smacking him. If he wants to stop moving, that would be great. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
Really
he
close.
was being really squirmy, and he's like one hit, so watch this.
Whack. All right, this one's a little scary, but Glub knows exactly what to do here.
Yeah, this is the hardest blight, both casually and in terms of like learning it.
Nice.
That's phase one of it done.
clean.
And you want to make sure you do phase one good so that we can set up for phase two. Otherwise, he'll have a different attack pattern in phase two if you kill him at a
Yes.
at a bad spot.
That is why this is the hardest blight to learn. Getting phase one correctly is a hard requirement.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's extremely, it's just, there is no strat. You are winging it.
Yeah, this goes for the entire run, but Glubbers is making this look way easier than it is. This is insanely difficult to pull off. Okay, and one thing you might notice here is actually facing backwards towards the boss and then starting the spin attack. It actually does double hits. So you can take him out in one go, just like that.
Yep. And I'm going to look at this other monitor here because I normally look to the left, and this requires motion controls.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the first thing we're gonna do is just shoot his face as much as we can with the strongest arrows in the game.
Yeah, the ancient arrows do work here. You can see that health melting, even though it's a massive amount of HP. It takes off a pretty good chunk. Fortunately, there's a lot of good materials lying around the fight as well, so Glub's gonna skirt the edge of the arena and pick up some of the ones that we need.
So pick up the Claymore here and then hopefully finish him off.
All right.
Nice. Keep in mind, pretty much all of these hits are one-shot, so if Glubbers gets hit by anything here, it is not going to be good. So this is a very tense fight.
Nice.
Nice.
And that's a 2-frame window to parry that, or I just die.
And we need that in order to beat the fight too.
Yep.
Oh,
That's phase 1 done.
yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So now we're going to be looking for another laser in order to get him out of this state.
He'll be over the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's A-okay.
Bit of
We're going
RNG
to
here.
do our due diligence and eat some peppers.
Not Chuck.
Not Chuck.
Not Chuck. All right, so it'll be a little bit slow just because we got that RNG in phase 1. Oh, goodness.
Okay. Good timing.
That's the scariest part of the run.
That is absolutely the scariest one to get because the timing is just different from any other laser that you would have to parry.
And now we're hopefully good because we're going to be doing a trick called stun lock. If we slam down with a big stick right before Calamity gets up, then he just goes back down.
Yeah, we're getting the double hits from turning around and hitting the legs and stuff as well. So we're getting even more damage in and continuously stun locking.
Okay.
All right, so it's not time quite yet, but that is the final boss in everyone's mind.
Let's go.
There is technically a final boss. Are you guys ready for the hardest fight in the game? It's an auto-scroller.
And we're on a horse.
And we're on a horse!
Let's go.
If you guys have ever wanted to see Lucario riding a horse, I don't know why you wanted to see that, but there you go. And I just do this every run. Gay rights.
There are audio cues here in order to speed up this fight a little bit more, and then Zelda won't speak if you get them perfectly, but for the most part, it's a 1-frame window, and I don't think he's probably going to go for it.
No, I would rather yap and talk to you guys.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? Yeah, I didn't hear anything. And that's the way that I like it. Glad that you guys are all having fun out there. So this horse has a name. This horse's name is Link's horse, but I think this is Lucario's horse.
Yeah. Gotta be.
Look at Lucario just like petting the little horse there. I am actually on rails. I'm not joking when I say this is an auto-scroller. I'm waiting for the ability to attack.
Yeah, it's a cool fight, but it's so chill after the Calamity Ganon fight, which is just so stressful.
I can cut in with a quick donation here if you so choose.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Red Eyes Vixen donates $10 to World Central Kitchen. The Glubbers run into ADEF run combo is extremely powerful. This has been so much fun. Less than 3.
That is. Zelda is super hype, but you know what's more hype than Zelda? Not Pokemon, but Pokemon's pretty close.
You say this as controlling Lucario on a discount Ponyta.
Discount Ponyta? I think this is just a Mudsdale.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Kind of true.
And there will be a shot for me to shoot now. Oh, dang it. I timed it right. I was just in the wrong position. I even said now when it showed up. Okay, there's going to be one more shot. And we have to do even more cinematic showings. Oh my goodness, look. Ganon is like rearing his head. And yeah, I just like... Look at the goofy horse mechanics. Time will be coming up whenever I shoot this eye. That isn't even there yet. There it is. Time.
GG.
Fantastic run.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I got the thing where the eye just is still there. Yeah, a little bit of hiccups, mostly caused by me riding an airplane. But Breath of the Wild 90% is a fantastic run. Everyone loves seeing it. There's so much goofy stuff. There's so much cool stuff that happens. You kill a bunch of bosses super quickly. I hope everybody here enjoyed it. Real quick, I'm gonna take up as little time as possible. Again, I am Glubbers. I run a lot of Zelda games. If you guys want to see any Zelda game on the planet, I haven't even decided the one that I'm playing when I get home yet. It's either Twilight Princess or Minish Cap or Ocarina of Time. But that is me. You guys can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/theglubbers. Do you guys have any shout-outs?
Thanks for having us, man. This is a great time.
All right, then I'll just shout out the Breath of the Wild community. Tapir has been around it forever. Great guy. Everyone in the Breath of the Wild community is fantastic. Player 5, Mikey, Noman, Tapir, and of course, everyone here should know Cloud. She's fantastic. Shout outs to all of them. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. Thank you guys again, and peace.